Ladies and gentlemen, with this story, I was very confused because I thought this might have been a case of a scorned lover, maybe somebody dating a thug and things went wrong. And now I looked more into the story and now I'm completely confused as far as the motive. That's the biological father that just scrolled across the screen there. I did reach out to him by way of social media, so I don't know if he'll ever be able to get back to me, if he'll even see the message. But nonetheless, I'm going to talk about the story. But I did reach out to the family. People always telling me, you don't know the facts. You need to reach out to the family. And look, I do what I can. And if they don't want to speak, they don't have to. So I have to kind of draw my own conclusions. But this story is kind of out of a place called West Memphis, Arkansas. Never heard of that, but nonetheless, let me give you guys a disclaimer. You might find my content controversial or offensive. My information is coming from credible sources. I'm speaking about the facts of this story, so I'm going to give my personal opinions. I'm talking about this in hopes of preventing tragedies like this going forward. Viewer discretion is advised, and that is your official disclaimer. If you didn't hear what I said, pause it, and you can read that. Okay? We're also going to talk about her as well. Police are on the lookout for a teen who is wanted in connection to the shooting death of a toddler in West Memphis. The individual by the name of Kylan Jackson. Kylan Kaman Jackson. I think that's a very... What is a Kylan? Kylond. I don't know what kind of name that is. I think you just don't give a crap about your children if you name them Kylan. But he's 18 years old and he is one. And I told y'all, stupid names equal stupid things. And this is a very stupid thing that happened that Kylan did. 18 years old, and he's wanted in connection to the slaying of a 2-year-old by the name of Jadakiah Jimerson. This handsome young baby right here. Back in June. So this is only a few months ago. Jadakiah's father by the name of Warren Jimerson. And I talked about them just a little bit ago, which is... That's the biological father. I'll let y'all hear from him in just a moment. I'm getting this information from WREG.com, so thank you for the article. His father is still reeling from the tragedy, and he said he's focused on justice and he wants all of the suspects off the streets. All of the suspects, at least 3 of them. 3 suspects, a house that was shot up, 1 dead child. According to police, Jadakiah died after someone fired shots into a home on 18th Street during a drive-by shooting. The child's mother was wounded and was also wounded by the gunfire. These guys took my child away from me that was only 2 years old, so therefore I will never know how my child will sound by putting sentences together, or I would never see him in his first day of school. That's according to the biological father. In July, 18-year-old Johnny Warren and 19-year-old Jerome Patterson. Let me see if I can get those 2 thug dummies on the screen. And again, I don't mean thug as in skin color. I mean thug as far as their horrible actions. There they are. These 2 dummies. 18 years old and 19 years old, and they were arrested and charged with capital murder in the toddler's death. But West Memphis police are now say Warren and Patterson have pending charges as accomplices. As officers searched for Jackson, we found out that one of the teens is actually out of jail. Let me say that again. I don't know how that happened, but one of the teens is actually currently out of jail. The Crittenden County jail roster shows Patterson was released on Tuesday. Let's get justice for baby Jadakiah, and let's not free anybody that does not need to be free, according to the father, and I agree. As for Jackson, he's wanted for capital murder, terroristic act, and battery. A life for a life, right? The father said. I just pray for them because they really don't know what they did. And once justice shows its face, that's what they're going to really understand. Jackson is wanted on a nationwide extradition warrant, and police say that he is considered armed and dangerous. Jimerson is hoping he's caught soon. Jackson also has active warrants in connection to a separate incident in July. And if you know anything about his whereabouts, they ask that you call police. He has let me see. I understand that the world is hard right now, but certain things don't need to be in this world, and those are people like that, he said. He has a 7-year-old sister, a 9-year-old brother. He has siblings that misses him, and that them guys didn't think nothing about them when they was out there pulling that trigger. So let's get justice for baby Jadakiah. So I agree with those sentiments. Here's the biggest question. Why? Why did this happen? And again, I thought some things initially, but from what I understand, this might have been a case of mistaken identity, and these dudes didn't know what house they were actually supposed to go shoot up, what their intention was, and from what I understand, that they actually shot up the wrong house. I don't know if any of that is true or not, but I'm putting that out there until we can get more of the real details. Here's the fair usage. Let's go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Now, if you guys know more about this story, like, if y'all know some real details about this, if y'all live in that area, call police. Don't go emailing and telling me. But if you do know some stuff, you could also post it in the comment section as far as if there's some details that I'm missing, okay? Here we go. Let's get it.
And we are updating breaking news out of West Memphis, Arkansas tonight, where police have arrested 2 men in the shooting death of a 2-year-old boy. 18-year-old Johnny Warren and 19-year-old Jerome Patterson are now charged with capital murder. They're being held at the Crittenden County Jail tonight, which is where WREG's Andrew Allison joins us live. And Andrew, this case has rocked the West Memphis community. What's the reaction to these arrests tonight?
Well, as you'd imagine, a lot of people are happy to see arrests made, but many people we talked with feel these young men deserve their day in court just like anyone else.
Thank God that they got.
What a lot of West Memphis residents are saying tonight after police arrested 2 men in the shooting death of 2-year-old Jadakiah Jimerson.
It's really sad, you know what I'm saying, for a 2-year-old to lose his life, you know what I'm saying. And he ain't never had no life, really. 2-year-old, you know what I'm saying. His life really just be gone.
Investigators say 18-year-old Johnny Warren and 19-year-old Jerome Patterson opened fire on Jadakiah and his mother Yolanda Bonds during a drive-by shooting at a home on North 18th Street last month. Bonds survived, but Jadakiah didn't. Authorities say neither were the intended targets, but so far, investigators haven't said who was or why these teens would pull the trigger. Both are charged with capital murder.
If you into it with a person, don't go by the house shooting because you was killing innocent people. If you into a person, wait to the person you see them out on the street or something, and then you deal with that person on the street. I wish that they would give life, but you know, sometimes when you kill a person, you know what I'm saying, you don't get too much time.
Innocent.
I did not understand a word that he said, but right on, brother. Right on. I'm sorry. I didn't understand a word he said.
Until proven guilty.
Gloria Page says she knows these young men.
They some friendly little kids. I don't think they did that. Them little boys there, like I said, they just had a graduation, and it was just their prom.
And then we hear from the peanut gallery. Oh my God. She has no evidence to prove that these dudes are innocent, but yet she's going to come out and say that they're innocent. And I want y'all to remember, she's not going to say a damn thing about the kids. She's more worried about these grown-ass little boys that caused the death of a little child in a case of mistaken identity. Listen at this fool again.
Too much time.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Gloria Page says she knows these young men.
They some friendly little kids. I don't think they did that.
So too much time.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Gloria Page says she knows these young men.
They some friendly little kids.
They some pretty little kids. Oh my God. There's some pretty little kids. That sounds like she wants to have a relationship with them. Doesn't that sound weird? They some pretty little kids? Like who just... Does that not sound weird?
Men.
They some friendly little kids. They don't think they did that.
She don't think they did that because they some pretty little kids, and yes, she looks like a freaking... Like she looks like a fiend. This woman looked like she is looking for her next hit. Like, yes, somebody in the chat said that this is probably, they're probably her drug dealers. I could probably imagine that. She's like, I don't think they did that. I need my next crack rock. Look at her face, ma'am. Where's your teeth at, ma'am? She didn't say friendly. She said pretty little kids. Listen to what she said.
First thing I'm saying, you don't get too much time.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Oh, I guess she do got teeth. My bad. It's just the way she turned her face up. Look at how she's smiling. Look like she looked like a little piranha in the face.
Gloria Page says she knows these young men.
They some friendly little kids. They don't think they did that.
Did you say friendly or pretty? Maybe she said friendly. They don't look very friendly to me if I was judging a book by its cover. Just saying.
Men.
They some friendly little kids. They don't think they did that. Them little boys there, like I said, they just had a graduation. And they was just at prom. And they was over in the projects taking their little pictures and everything. I ain't never seen them being bad. Now, if I'd saw them being bad, I would say that.
The investigation far from over. Police say more arrests could be coming.
Who all was involved with, I hope they get.
I think she should have set her happy ass down, man. There was no reason for her to come out and say that. I don't think they did that. Then who freaking did it? Was it a ghost? Was it a ghost of racism past? Like who shot and killed the little boy then? Come on, man. Flat out ridiculous.
And now to a story you'll see only on 3 tonight. A Mid-South community paying tribute to a toddler killed in a drive-by shooting. WREG's Bria Jones joins us live now in West Memphis, where a memorial flag has been raised in that child's honor. And Bria, what can you tell us?
Well, Stephanie, it's been almost 2 weeks since this baby was shot and killed in his own home. Today, his mother, who was also injured in the shooting, broke her silence.
I was
Lost in a nightmare. Yolanda Bonds is fighting to be found after she was shot and her 2-year-old son, Jadaca Warren Jemerson, was killed in a drive-by shooting almost 2 weeks ago.
It's just a blur. I'm still like in denial. And it's just like a bad dream.
West Memphis police say someone shot into this home on North 18th Street. Rallying behind the family Thursday, community members gathered outside City Hall with Mending Hearts Children's Safety Center to raise a flag in little Jadaca's honor.
We don't ever want the families to feel like they're alone, that they're on an island with no support.
Support cherished by his mother.
It was a nice thing for the community to come out, you know, and be with me, you know, at this time.
Mayor Marco McClendon says it's not believed the two were the intended targets.
As mayor, my heart bleeds from the action of some of our young men in our community. When you cut short the life of our future.
He's now calling out the suspects.
I can guarantee.
And that ghost of racism past, if y'all ever hear anybody say that they got it from my channel, I want y'all to bookmark this video. That's where it came from. Said, don't laugh at the singing. I'm sorry, but she was a little shaky there on some of that singing. But I do agree with this man. He's saying he thinks that it was a case of mistaken identity. Because otherwise, why would they have shot this house up? Like, it just doesn't make any sense at all.
Targets.
As mayor, my heart bleeds from the action of some of our young men in our community. When you cut short the life of our future.
He's now calling out the suspects.
I can guarantee you, West Memphis police is going to flip West Memphis upside down, trying to find those responsible for this incident.
And challenging the community to take a stand after at least 3 fatal shootings in recent weeks.
I challenge you all to speak out. We must end all violence, especially gun violence, in our community.
How about thugs shouldn't have guns? Non-law-abiding citizens shouldn't have guns. How about that for a solution? We don't want to talk about that though. Let's hear from the mom. And I think they said that she was shot also. She was hit also.
I'm pushing for the death penalty. I'm pushing for the death penalty.
For Yolanda Bonds, whose 2-year-old son Jadakiah Jimerson was fatally shot in June, there is no celebrating the arrest of 25-year-old Kylan Jackson, charged with capital murder in connection with the toddler's death.
You know, my heart and my blood runs cold for everybody that was involved. And I know that I'm supposed to forgive, but right now I'm just not there.
Over the weekend, West Memphis police announced Jackson turned himself in, joining 2 other suspects already arrested for their parts in the fatal shooting, which also wounded Bonds. She recalls that morning when she and her son were sitting in Bonds' car in the driveway of her home on 18th Street, anxious to leave because the house had earlier been targeted in a drive-by shooting. While waiting for a police escort,
I heard the gunshots, and next thing I know, my arm was hit, and I didn't know he was hit until I had backed out and was on the way to the hospital. That's when I knew he was hit.
2-year-old Jadakiah did not survive, and West Memphis's mayor declared no stone would be left unturned in finding the shooters.
Today is one of those bittersweet moments where we are on the way to finding justice.
Monday, there were no details about what led to the fatal shooting. Jerome Patterson and Johnny Warren were named as accomplices. Officials pulling no punches Monday in urging the public to come forward with vital information that could help solve crimes or face consequences.
If you know something and we find out you know it and you refuse to talk with us about it, you will be charged with hindering apprehension.
I like that. Let's keep going.
Police are on the lookout for this teen, the 3rd suspect connected to the killing of a 2-year-old in West Memphis. Hello, I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hirsch. WREG's Bria Jones joins us now live from outside the West Memphis Police Department with new developments. And Bria, you spoke with the child's father. What's the family saying about the investigation tonight?
Well, Greg, the father of 2-year-old Jadakiah Jimerson says he's focused on justice and wants all the suspects off the streets. But tonight, as police search for a 3rd person, we found out one of those arrested last month is free tonight. Tonight, West Memphis police need your help finding this man, 18-year-old Kylan Jackson. He's wanted in connection to the slaying of 2-year-old Jadakiah Jimerson back in June. The toddler's father, Warren Jimerson, is still reeling from the tragedy.
I haven't grieved yet because it's not time for me to grieve. I'm gonna grieve when I get justice.
According to police, Jadakiah died after someone fired into this home on 18th Street during a drive-by shooting. The child's mother was also injured by the gunfire.
These guys took my child away from me that was only 2 years old, so therefore I'll never know how my son will sound by putting his sentences together, or I will never see his first day at school.
In July, these two, 19-year-old Jerome Patterson and 18-year-old Johnny Warren, were arrested and charged with capital murder in the toddler's death. West Memphis police now say the two have pending charges as accomplices. The Clarendon County jail roster shows Patterson was released from jail Tuesday.
Let's get justice for baby Jadakiah. And let's not free anybody that don't need to be free.
As for Jackson, he's free now, but is wanted for capital murder, terroristic act, and battery.
A life for a life, right? I just pray for them because they really don't know what they did. And once justice shows its face, that's when they're gonna really understand.
First tonight, many across West Memphis are.
Hey, Shay, one neighbor.
Community.
and then you're really not safe in your home.
So let's go ahead and skip the rest of that. I think you guys get the gist of the story. So I don't know how they were able to release one of those three dudes. The other one, I guess they're still looking for him, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, they'll find him. And matter of fact, I'll say this. If anybody is harboring these individuals that still need to be caught, I think they need to be arrested and face jail time also. I'd say maybe give them about 5 years, especially because this all involves the death of a baby. That way people will understand that if somebody is a fugitive of justice and you're helping them be hid, you're taking care of them, I think you need to understand that the gravity of that should weigh very, very heavy on your shoulders, okay? But beautiful little boy, I don't really understand why this even happened, and maybe we'll get some more details as the story progresses. And hopefully they can get them dudes rounded up and find out what really happened here. But to that young boy, to that little boy, definitely sorry to his mom and his dad, man. R.I.P. But let me know what you guys think about this story. If you have more details, like I say, reach out to the police, call them, see something, say something in the story, okay? Thank you.